Hey, everybody. Looks like we are live. I think the audio is working. Thank God. Woohoo. I know I've been on here lately, guys. I've been a little bit busy, but something caught my attention. A friend of mine was sending me a link discussing various different stories about Osama Bin Laden. Those of you guys, I'm sure you guys know him, the guy that was supposedly the mastermind of September 11th on the World Trade Centers. Anyways, it was really interesting, the information that I was reading and researching on Bin Laden. And I was completely oblivious to this. I didn't even know anything about this. Completely oblivious. And I followed him pretty closely. Not super close. Like I didn't read everything about the guy, but I've done enough research on the guy, and I was not even aware of this. And it sounds to me like this is basically classified as factual information. They say that Osama bin Laden his name was Tim Osman. That's a name, though, that the CIA gave him, CIA Tim Osman. He was supposedly a CIA agent that worked for the CIA back in I believe it was the 70s, late 70s and 80s. And when I was looking at the photos of the two and then reading the documentation about the two, I was really confused. I was like, what? Wow. When I was looking at the photos, and I don't think there's any video of Tim, but there's a lot of photos. And I was like, holy shit, that is Osama bin Laden. And I was not aware of that. I had no clue. Let's see here. We got Knitting Artisan. Sorry if I butchered your name. Knitting Artisan. I have heard that supposedly he was seen coming and going at the Pentagon. Yeah, that's something else that I was just reading. That's something else. I was reading that Tim Osman, a.k.a. Osama bin Laden, or you could go either way, bin Laden, a.k.a. Tim Osman, was seen. I was going to get into that, actually. People supposedly said he visited the Pentagon many times. I think they said was inside the White House, but I don't think that has been verified. I think they said he was probably in the White House many times as well. Was definitely in the United States all throughout the country back in the 70s and 80s. But that's really interesting. If you have any more information, let's see if I got your name right. Is it Knitting Artisan? Hope I didn't mess your name up. I would love it if you would share more details and more information about that, because I didn't even know anything about all of that. I had no idea that bin Laden, his real identity was basically Agent Tim Osman. Did not even know that. But if you got more information, I would love for you to share that with us here. I was just going into the details about how I had no idea that he worked with the CIA, and he was very educated. He was very successful, Tim Osman, and rich. I believe his family was wealthy. I believe Tim Osman. And yeah, I was trying to get as much information together as I could. Yeah, he was a CIA operative. That's what he was called. Tim Osman, aka Osama bin Laden. A lot of people believe he was also killed. I believe, you could correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I believe he was killed in 2001. Let's see here. I'm just reading the comment here from Knitting Artisan. You said it perfectly. Can't say I know more. I did the deep dive into all the fake scenery on the outside of our fishbowl about 12 years ago. I stopped digging into everything because, yeah, man, there's so much to dig and dig up, and it's like a never-ending rabbit hole. Basically, it's like a never-ending rabbit hole. But yeah, I was actually, I mean, you guys could call me an idiot, or if you want, but I was not even aware of this information. I've always heard conspiracy theories that bin Laden was just a fake person. I've heard I've even heard some crazy theories that he was actually Barack Obama. Now that one's more crazy. But I never heard that he was basically a verified agent with the CIA under the name Tim Osman. Basically, I'm just reading the comment here. Basically, everything out into the public through our consumption is either falsehoods or poisonous. Whenever the people line up. Yeah, dude, I agree with that. I mean, I pretty much take the news and the media with a grain of salt, unless it's maybe the weather report. You know, tomorrow's supposed to be sunny, 75, no clouds. You know, I might take that seriously, but when it comes to other stuff, you know, especially political, oh man, I have a hard time delving into that and saying, yeah, I believe everything they say. Spoon fed, please spoon feed me. That's what I feel like. Yeah, glad you're here, man. I'm glad someone's here with just as much information as, you know, what I was gathering, because I didn't know if anyone even knew about this, except for like maybe a couple of people on my channel. But that's awesome that you're here, though. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen you here before. Thanks for supporting my channel, by the way. Really appreciate that. Greatly appreciate it. But besides this, I mean, I really don't have a whole lot of information about Tim Osman. There's a whole bunch of articles, but they're hard. Like, they're not like mainstream articles, like, you know, but there's a whole bunch of different stories from a long time ago, 15, 20 years ago, that describe Tim Osman. They show all of his photos, the comparisons of him and Bin Laden side by side, and they are the same person. At first, I thought, no, there's no way. And then when I was looking at the pictures, it's Bin Laden, only without the beard, you know, and the robe, whatever. You know, it's basically Bin Laden without a beard and wearing a suit and tie. You know, that was Tim Osman. And yeah, I had no idea. To me, I find it really fascinating. But for those of you that know me really well and know how I am, my style on my channel, nothing really, I shouldn't say I'm totally shocked, even though I'm a little surprised, but I've said this before, nothing really surprises me, because so much information is manufactured and BS by the media, the mainstream media, and even our own government. That stuff like this shouldn't surprise me, even though it does kind of surprise me a little bit, because I've never even heard anyone talk about this before. I've never heard anybody actually, anyone in my circle, inner circle, I've never heard anyone actually talk about Osama bin Laden being associated with the name Tim Osman. I mean, but then once I saw the photos, I was like, wow, that is really uncanny. That's crazy. I was like, it surprised me, not because it happened. That's not the surprise. The surprise is nobody really talks about it. I guess that's why I didn't even know about it. I didn't even know about it because nobody ever talks about it. But yeah, that's fascinating. Let's see here. Knitting. I have even seen that someone did a facial match between George W. Bush and Manson, and it was a 93% match. You were correct. Hollywood and government are very much linked, more than the rabbit hole. Yeah, more than one rabbit hole. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's crazy, the stuff that goes on. Honestly, though, guys, I think this should be more evidence and more proof of something that I've talked about for years and years and years. And by the way, Knitting, thanks for being here and supporting the channel. But what I was going to say is this kind of reassures what I've been saying for probably a decade now. And I'm only 36 years old, but I've been saying this since I was in my 20s, that it's definitely not as crazy and far-fetched as like everybody says it is to switch identities. And I've said this for so many years now that, you know, I believe it's possible that a lot of important figures, whether it be presidents, movie stars, singers, just various different politicians in general, um, could easily be switched out and given a new identity. Either it could be a fake death, it could be it could just be a number of different things. It could be a mysterious disappearance, but something like that's not very difficult to manufacture and cover up. Because let's be honest here, when we see these people on television or in photographs like Bin Laden, Osama Bin Laden, all we're seeing is what they want us to see. We always would see him wearing his, his outfit, the same outfit with the big beard, um, living in like a cave or whatever, and that's all they show us of him. They don't show us what he really looks like or what he looked like before the transformation of growing out the beard. And when you look at these photos, I'll have to get you guys more pictures, but the thumbnail picture is a great picture I got of the two side by side, Tim Osman and Osama bin Laden. It's the same person. It's the same person. It's not a Photoshop. That picture was taken. I think that picture was revealed like 30 years ago, something like that, 20 some years ago. So that's an authentic photograph of one and the same man. I know they're listed as two separate men, two separate entities, but they're the same guy. And I don't even think Tim Osman was his real name. So nobody even knows what his real name was. It's not Osama bin Laden, and it's not the government name, Tim Osman. That's what the government gave him, the name. So who knows what his real name was, but just really, really, really fascinating, that stuff. But yeah, knitting artisan. Great that you showed up here, man, because I didn't know if anyone would even be on the same page with this, because, like I said, I had never heard this before. And I assume that a lot of the people that I talk to, a lot of the people that I know have never heard this before. Otherwise, they would have probably brought it up to me. So it's awesome that you're here to at least back up this story, because, when I first heard about it, literally the other day, I was like, what? Because I've never seen those photos before. I've never seen the two pictures of Tim and Osama side by side. And I've never even seen Tim Osman ever before. So, I was really surprised. But yeah, man. So if there's anything, I know you said you don't really have a whole lot to add to it, but if there's anything else that you would like to say, that'd be great. But yeah, I was just kind of surfing around looking to see if there was any more information on it. Yeah, and apparently Osama bin Laden, aka Tim Osman, like I said earlier, was a very smart, educated person. I mean, hence he did work for the government at the CIA. He was very smart. Now, as far as Tim, his existence, his demise, some people say, I don't know if this was confirmed or not, but some people say he actually died back in December 2001. That would have only been, what, 3 months after the 9/11 attacks? I know his death, bin Laden's death, was listed as 2011 by the SEAL Team 6, but according to the documentation, Tim Osman died right after 9/11 in 2001. So, who knows? Maybe something else I wanted to bring up. I know a lot of people like to hate on him and bash the guy, but maybe Donald Trump was also right when he said in 2011, Osama bin Laden was not taken out because he was already gone. So who knows? They never did show any photograph or any kind of video of bin Laden's death or his body in the aftermath. So who knows? Who really knows? As far as when he died, whether he's even dead or not, irregardless of that, I have no idea about that stuff. But I just find it really fascinating that his name was Tim Osman and that he worked for the CIA. That to me is really fascinating. Now, as far as when he died and if he died, who knows about that? Did he die in 2001? Did he die in 2011 when the SEAL Team 6 took him out? Was all of that fabricated? Who really knows about that? We just know his real identity was not Osama bin Laden. That's all we know. That was not, his real identity was the guy in the picture that I showed you in the thumbnail. Let's see here. Knitting Artisan says he was conveniently dumped in the ocean with no video footage. We have to take their word for it. Yep, that's true. Have to take their word. That's exactly what I was saying before. There's no, not even a photograph. That's pretty bad. You would think as sophisticated as the government is with all the money and resources that they could have even at least faked a photograph, and said, this is his body. Kind of like they did with the Hussein brothers. Remember when they showed their dead bodies all over the TV? But yeah, let's see here. More comments above that one. But yeah, I don't know. The whole thing, like I said, even if, let's just say the death was fake and all of that was fake, you would think as sophisticated as the U.S. government is, they could have at least faked a photograph and said, this is bin Laden, but they didn't even do that. They didn't even show a photograph. So, wow. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, let's see. Knitting Artisan. I was trying to read. Let's see. Double check it. Make sure I didn't miss anything from what you were saying. I have even seen that someone did a facial match. Oh, yeah, I already read that. About George W. Bush and Manson, Charles Manson. And that it's a 93% match. That's kind of funny and interesting. I could actually kind of see that a little bit. I'm not saying it's true, but I could kind of see that. Let's see. Basically, everything out into the public through our consumption is either falsehoods or poisonous. Whenever the people line up, I go the other way. Yep. That's true, man. I'm kind of the same way when it comes to that. As far as I don't dive headfirst into something that the media says, because that's, I don't know. I just think that's irresponsible. It's very irresponsible. But yeah, very, very fascinating topic. Very interesting. And like I said, I learned something new on this one. I'm going to have to do way more research on this but the problem is, even if I try to do as much research as possible when it comes to bin Laden and the connection of him actually being Tim Osman, the hard thing is, and I've already spent a couple hours looking at the information, trying to research on Google, YouTube, you name it, Yahoo. There's only so much information available. Yeah, they got some classified information available, but besides that, they don't have page after page after page after page about bin Laden, aka Tim Osman. Although it's well enough known that he is Tim Osman or was Tim Osman, because whenever you just type in the name Tim Osman, it immediately links him to bin Laden immediately. So it's not like it's super hidden, but it's just not, there's just not a ton of material on the subject about bin Laden. There's just not a whole lot of material. There's a lot of videos about bin Laden and stories about bin Laden, the terrorist, but there's not a whole lot of stories about bin Laden, aka the CIA agent, aka Tim Osman. Not a lot. There's just not a lot. But yeah, that's I definitely find it really fascinating. But yeah, knitting artisan. Hope I'm not butchering your name again. Knitting artisan. Yeah, man. I'm glad you was able to chime in on this topic because, like I said, I just kind of learned about this recently, so the other day, so I don't really have a whole lot of solid information. I just know it's basically a fact that they are the same person. They're the same person. That's pretty much the only thing that I know. But besides that, I don't know anything else. Was he killed? Is he still alive? Did he die back in 2001? Some people say he was actually killed shortly after 9/11 happened in 2001. Who knows? I don't really know. But yeah, definitely very, very interesting and eye-catching, eye-opening. See here. But yeah, I also wanted to use a good photo, a good thumbnail for it, because when I saw it, I was like, what? And then I'm staring at the photo and I'm like, wow, that is really legit. That's not bullshit. It's not fake. I was like, crap. And like I said, I feel stupid because I guess people have known about this for like 20 years, longer than that. But I mean, even people of limited knowledge of this subject, I guess some people already know about this, since 9/11 happened. And I'm like the only one that didn't even know the rumor, the story about Tim Osman transforming into Bin Laden. Didn't know that. Let's see here. And do you have anything else you'd like to share? Knitting? You've been really helpful so far on the stream. You've helped out. Like I said, it's cool to see someone else in here that has similar information. But see here, we got anything else on the subject? But anyways, guys, I definitely want to bring you more information on this very topic, this very subject, because like I said, I find it really interesting and educational. I was like, what? I just learned something new. I feel bad that I didn't put a little bit more effort into the stream because, like I said, I just learned about it. I wanted to put as much information together as quickly as possible because I wanted to give you guys a stream. Plus, I haven't been on here in about a week, 6-7 days. So I wanted to give you guys something. But no, I didn't just throw it all together because I wanted just for the sake of doing a stream, but I really wanted to and would like to in the future give you guys more insight on this topic. And you guys can do your own research as well, because some of you out there may not even know about this. I was not aware of this until just the other day. So was that more comments about that one? But yeah, let's see if I got anything else. Also, guys, I know I said the last time, I think I said this the last stream, hey, I'm busy. I got other stuff going on, but I'm going to try to do more streams. Well, I really mean that. I am going to try to do more streams and give you guys better content. That way you guys have something to watch, something to learn about, and entertainment. It is a little bit entertaining. At least, I mean, to me, especially this subject, oh, wow, man, you could like spend a year straight diving into this type of research. Bin Laden, that's crazy. I did not even realize that there was that much to seek, that much information to seek out on the subject. I always kind of thought that there was something fishy about the guy. I always thought, man, is he just used as like a ploy to cause war? Maybe, I thought, is he an actor? Is he a stooge? But I wasn't aware that he was actually a government agent for the United States. Let's see here, guys. I think that's going to do it here. Knitting artisan. Oh, you're talking about Kubrick? Wait, hold on one second here. The film guy. More comments about that one. Oh man, I'm sorry. If you're trying to share links, I don't believe YouTube allows that. Sorry about that, man. Knitting. I think you're trying to tell me you posted a link, right? You said more comments above that one. you might see it show up in the chat, but it's really not showing up. YouTube, I believe, only allows moderators. Anyways, I think that's going to do it. You know what it could be? If I don't read everything that you say, YouTube has, what do they call them? The Google mods. It's AI, it's computerized mods. Sometimes they don't, I know where you're coming from, man, because I'll go in different live streams and I'll type stuff and I'll see it show up on my end, but other people can't always see it because what do they call it? It's like a shadow. It's kind of like a shadow ban, but where they secretly hide your shit, your messages. Maybe that happened to you. Maybe you said something that was case sensitive. I don't know. Because, yeah, I read everything that's in the chat. But I know what you're talking about. It's stupid the way YouTube does that. You type something and you see it on your end, on your screen, but other people don't always see it. So maybe Google got involved or something. But I know what you're talking about. I hate when that happens because I'll be talking to someone and they won't reply to me. And then I realize because I have to go into a different browser. And then I'll use a different browser and it won't show up. Yeah, I hate when that happens. So, but yeah, that's all I could think of, dude, because yeah, I read all of your posts that show up. Like I said, I can't help if Google, aka YouTube, whatever, gets rid of shit. Let's see here. Okay, guys, I think that's going to do it. I just found this really fascinating. Hopefully you guys find it as interesting as I do. I find it really wild. And I'm going to be doing more. Let's see here. Oh, okay. See, I didn't see that. About a number of actors are CI and J Zoots, whatever. Sorry, man. Maybe you had to change the way. YouTube is so annoying, dude. Knitting Artisan. YouTube's so annoying the way they hide shit. Okay, CIA. Yeah. It's getting so bad. YouTube hides so much crap. Yeah, I didn't see anything about that earlier when I was reading through your comments. Okay, yeah, number of actors are CIA. Okay, I got it. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I don't doubt it. I don't even doubt that, man. It doesn't surprise me about actors being all in cahoots with these agencies, entertainers. Why do you think they mix, SNL, Saturday Night Live comedy with politics? They do it because it's all one big joke. It's all one big joke. Oh, yeah, dude, I know what you're talking about Kubrick and the moon landing. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I know, yeah. He even used to put predictive programming in movies like The Shining when he had the little boy wearing that NASA space shirt or whatever. But yeah. Oh, sorry about that. But yeah, I'll call you ma'am or but yeah. I'm used to so many different guys coming on this channel. I don't even know if that many women actually watch my videos or my live streams. But yeah, it sucks though. You got to be careful on here because you type things and you'll see it show up on your end, but nobody else will see it because they freaking secretly ban your comments. I hate when YouTube does that. But yeah, it's just crazy though. But yeah, I've heard a lot about, and I've read a lot and done a lot of research on Kubrick. There was a lot of very, very, very fascinating things about him. He's another good one to maybe do a stream about. I might do a live stream about him in the future, the near future, talking about him. Because, yeah, there's a lot of interesting things about the guy. There was a lot of shady stuff that goes on. But, yeah. Oh, you know, a little bit, the Disney theory. That's another good one. That's a really good topic. I never really studied a whole lot about that one. I mean, other than I know Disney is a pretty horrible organization. That's for sure. Disney, I mean, they basically own the world. You know, they own all entertainment. You know, don't they even own like freaking your major news networks as well, too? Seeing Disney, they own so much crap. They own ESPN. They own, oh man. But yeah, that's another good one. That's another good one that I'll have to go over. Yeah, Disney. But I don't want to keep this one too long. I don't want to go too off tangent here with talking about Osama bin Laden. But yeah, I'm going to definitely keep that in mind to go over different topics. Oh, yeah, I hear you about not allowing your kids to watch cartoons. Yeah, and all the subliminal messaging. Yeah, there's a lot. That in itself is a topic. All the subliminal signs and logos. A lot of people talk about that with Coca-Cola, about how if you look at the can, the bottles, the logo, you know, it's very evil what it stands for. Yeah, that in itself could be like a topic that I could freaking talk about probably for hours and hours and hours. The subliminal messaging, they even do it in movies. They'll like have like certain events take place in the movie at specific times, like at the 33-minute mark of a film or the 42nd minute of the movie. You know, they'll do like a ritual against a black person. Yeah, it's really disgusting, the things that they do. And they always pick out specific numbers, you know, dates, times, you know, things like that. That's another good one. Like I said, they do it in every freaking film. Hollywood does it. Commercials do it in advertising. You know, education does it in the schools. You know, it's like a form of indoctrination. You know, they do it and people don't even know. They just soak it in and they don't realize they're being brainwashed. Well, Knitting Artisan, it's been great talking to you. It's been great talking to you guys, doing the stream. This has been fun. It's Monday night, almost 9 o'clock. I'm going to wrap things up for the night. I'll definitely be back again real shortly. Probably, I don't know. I don't like giving you guys a timetable because then I feel guilty. Let's see. I'll stop going down other topics. I don't mean to stray from your original topic. But movies and the tech with the TV. Oh, yeah, I hear it. No problem at all. No. I like people coming on here and sharing other fascinating things. No, don't feel bad about going off topic of bin Laden. Don't feel bad about that at all. People can always fast forward, you know, go through, rewind the stream when they watch it. If they just want to listen to me talk about bin Laden. But yeah, yeah, those are, again, though, I appreciate you coming here and supporting the channel. Also, guys, I appreciate any support that I get from, you know, views, subscribing. Also, it helps a lot to hit the like button. It really helps the channel grow. It gets helps out with the algorithm. And also, don't forget, if you're a new subscriber, to hit the notification bell in the corner. That way you know when I'm actually going live, when I'm actually doing something. And again, I also want to, I know I've said this before, but I wanted to add, I enjoy doing this for fun, a little bit of education as well, fun mixed in with education. And again, I do it for free. You know, I don't even have a PayPal link added to my channel. Maybe eventually I'll add one, but I'm just not interested in profiting for this kind of work. I'm just having fun doing it. Also, I appreciate knitting, hitting the like. I appreciate that. So yeah, guys, I am going to call it a stream. Again, I appreciate all the support. You guys stay safe out there. Take care. Peace out, everybody.